Hello everyone, we're going to do a Makerspace video and an update on the shop. I've been out there working and this is what pretty much an average day is like. Okay, this was my original 3D resin printer. It's an Anycubic Photon. Pretty standard, a lot of people have them. I get a lot of failed prints with it, but it does some good work, and I was actually able to print this 1/32 scale car in there by putting it in at a very sharp angle. It just filled up the entire build space from top to bottom by angling it. But it had some warpage in the fenders, and it took about 10 to 12 hours overnight. And I'm trying to get to where I can 3D print some molds for the injection machine. This is a mold that I made of some bullets and bits and pieces for another bits for base mold, but it's very small. It's roughly 2.5 by 4.5 inches. So I got this printer this week. This is a Photon, it's called a Frozen Shuffle XL, and it has a build plate about 3 times as big. So here it is opened up. There's a couple things about it that kind of alarmed me right away. First of all the controls are on the back. So you have to reach in the back, and since I'm going to put it in a cabinet, it's going to be very difficult to reach back there and plug in the USB drive, plus get to the power switch. I got a workaround for the power switch, but it's still going to be hard. Then this door fell off. It's only held on by double-sided tape, so I put some glue on it to reinforce it, but I was a little concerned about that thing popping off right away. This is my 3D printer cabinet that's out in Makerspace, and the Photon was in there before, so I emptied everything out of it, and we're going to do some rearranging and see if we can fit both 3D printers in. And we have to also fit in the heater element. I put the power strip up on the side over here, and the power strip is up high so I can see it, and it's out of the way. Then I put a heater in the back there. That heater warms up the space, keeps the resin somewhat warm. It has a thermostat. It also has a safety trigger on the bottom, so I had to screw it to the wall to plug the safety trigger in. But the controls are right out there in the front. Plenty of space around it. The Frozen fits in pretty nicely. You can see I got the wires tied up in the back, and everything's going up to the power switch, so I can just hit the strip there, and I don't have to reach in the back to hit the power switch, but I left enough room for my arm to fit in there. And then we got the Photon in there. So this cabinet has lights, heat, and everything needed to do 3D printing out in the shop. And here they are opened up, so both doors do open up. I had to take the shelf out of the cabinet because the Frozen, when open, is 32 inches tall. It really takes up a lot of space. You can see the build plates out front there. The Frozen has a build plate it's roughly 3 times as large. So it's a lot of money to buy this thing, but I think if I'm going to 3D print injection molds, there's no point in making an injection mold so tiny. And I get a lot of failed prints with the Photon. The edges curl up and everything like that. The Frozen has this neat little lid that pops down on the vat, so you can just keep the resin stored in there, I guess. And it seals it up and keeps it from curing. And this is what I've been working on out in the shop. This is the Roadrunner test shot. And you can see that I put a parting line right down the fender. That was really a bad decision, because the curvature of that fender, that parting line is not in a good spot. And I'm going to redo this entire mold because of that. That really annoys me. I'm not getting good results with this because it's very cold in the shop, and I need to get the molds warmed up so the plastic flows a little better. So here's a shot in Rhino. You can run a draft angle analysis, and you can see that from the driver's side looking straight in, everything in blue can go on that side. So I can actually part this right where the fender and hood meet. So I think I'm going to redo this entire mold from scratch and try to part it right there. Seems like a waste, but you learn by trial and error. This is the new parting surface that is going to go up the fender, up the edge of the windshield, across the hood, and then back down over the quarter panel. I think it's going to create a little bit less issues with mold lines and things like that, so we'll see how that goes. But that's what we're working on in the shop. This is the final vision for what I'm going to try to make. I can 3D print them in resin, but resin's not the best material, and I'm going to try to make it in plastic. So we'll see how things go. I'll keep you updated from time to time on things in the shop, but I really want to have this car on the track someday. All right, just a quick video, so thanks for watching.